Today, what am I doing? I am going to be mending some clothes today. I rearranged my signs back here so they could be a little more invisible last night, so you might notice a change. I lowered the French one, Material La Mom. I didn't know it was going to come that way. And then this Material Mom and subscribe. And then I put these in different places. So, and I have a Valentine's card here from somebody who mailed it to me. I already told you about. And my beautiful one up here is, you can't see it very well. It's a bouquet of flowers, Get Well flowers. And I got a lovely letter yesterday from Deanna Repstein from Texas. And she wrote me a very nice letter and a card, which I'll be putting in my scrapbook. I need to show you guys my scrapbook, how it's getting full. Okay, now I gotta get my chair up here better. Jamie goes, you need to move your whole setup this way. I said, Jamie, if I did that, my studio would be off balance and I'd be right in... No, I'm not moving it. We'll just be right here. Okay. If you're new to my channel, then you don't know that I was a seamstress for years and did alterations out of cleaners. And then I also made draperies for years. And I also took in sewing for people. I hated it, because people make you sew the stupidest things and do the stupidest things, and you're just at their whim because you need the money. But it was I learned a lot, and it was very faith promoting to me, because I would be poor and I needed money, and I would pray and someone would come to my door with a sewing job. So, and back then my water bill was like $20 a month. And so it seemed like my water bill was always due and I didn't have any money. And I would pray and do a sewing job and get it. All right, my mending today is for Jamie. Remember these Teemu shirts I bought? And the sleeves, I got a 3X because of his, larger tummy. And I wanted him to be able to be comfortable in it because it's a pullover, not a button up. Of course, he said, oh, if they would have made these buttons go all the way down, it could be a button-up shirt. I know, Jamie, but they didn't, so don't think of that. All right, so I tried it on him, and I hemmed it. And the measurement is, he needs 19 inches. I already got my machine threaded, so I'm set there. So he needs finished length 19 inches. Now, this is not going to be a sewing class because I'm not a very good teacher, I found out. I am just going to do it while I talk, okay? I took the cuff off of the one sleeve, and it has to be 19 inches. I'm using my new little Teemu tape measure. I kept one out. Okay, so 19 inches finished. I always mark my seams, the finished length. I want it to be right here when I'm done. Okay, I need my pincushion. Okay. All right, so here's the cuff. Put it right here, 19 inches finished. And I stitch this on here. So where do I cut it off? I'm going to be cutting it off right here. And that will make 19 inches. Wow, I'm cutting off a lot. That makes me nervous. To cut off 4 inches. It was 4 inches too long. Always check. Twice, cut once. And I see that the sleeve is going to be way too fat for the cuff. That means I have to sew the arm, this arm, I'll have to sew it in. Another Teemu sweater from last year. I got all my sweaters out and unpacked a while back, so I'm trying to wear them all. Okay, I'm only going to cut off 3 inches, because then I have work to work with, area to work with, if you know what I mean. You probably don't, but I know what I mean. Because I want to have a little seam. I have to have a seam length in there. One lady told me, why don't you cook up a bunch of mashed potatoes, gravy, save this. This is my measuring for the other sleeve. And then make your own little Atkins dinners, homemade ones. Very good idea. Why didn't I think of that? I did think of that before, but I'm so lazy. Now, I should do that, like make up. I have a ton of frozen hamburgers, you know, they're all the pre-made one. I could make Salsbury steak with the gravy and then make my own TV dinners. So thank you for that idea, lady. Lady, that's really rude. I don't remember who it was, but that was a good idea in the comments. I was reading some. I read through a lot of them, and then I just can't take it anymore. So then I have to stop, and then Jamie reads them. But I love the comments. It's just that after a while, I just think I'm going to hit one that's bad about me or something. I'm going to hit a negative one. How come negative ones hurt you so bad when you don't like count up all the positive? All right, how much weight have I lost? I don't really know, because I don't know what my starting weight was, but as I figure, roughly, from my fattest weight when I was down there, because you know I ate like a pig before I went, so that I would make sure my BMI was high enough. But that's bad, because then you still have to lose that weight that you gained. So I've lost almost 20 pounds, I think. Not quite. Need a couple more pounds. Maybe by the 1st of the month, 1st of February. But I looked it up, and somebody said how much weight. They said at my weight too, it was comparable to me. It wasn't like a 300-pound person. It was comparable to me. How much weight should I expect to lose? And they said the first month about 20 pounds, 5 to 20 pounds, 5 to 15 to 20 pounds. Maybe I can't remember what I read. So I'm right on target. I haven't taken my measurements. So, because my belly's still fat as a pig. Fat as a pregnant belly can be when I'm not pregnant. At least people don't ask me anymore if I'm pregnant, because I'm too old. I'm hot today. I left the heat on too long. Then I took a hot bath this morning. I don't know why. Because I'm like lazy. I just wanted to. I didn't want to get in the hot tub. I just wanted a hot bath. So I did. And then I just laid till the water got cold, and then I got out. It's because I don't have a car. That's why. When you don't have a car, it does something to your psyche. Like, can't go anywhere anyway. Why even get up? Of course, like if you lived in, when we went visiting Australia, of course, we didn't have a car. We just had the bus system and stuff. And I wonder, how often would if I didn't have my car in a big place like that, how often would I go to town and venture out and, you know, wonder how often they go. But my oldest brother, he lived in Hong Kong. He was an attorney in Hong Kong for a while. He speaks the Thai language, and I don't remember if it's Cantonese or Mandarin that he speaks. So he was an attorney, an American attorney in Hong Kong for a while, and his daughter was born there, one of them. And I remember his wife, Janice, telling us, oh, when you go to town, it's an all-day process. Like now, we just run to town and we're doing fine, you know, run back. But when you lived there, it was an all-day process. You didn't just run to the grocery store. I don't need anything from a grocery store. I don't need to go to town except to mail a package to Jackson and to Ellie. But the news on that is Hillary said that she thinks she's going to go to Emily's this weekend. So if she does that, then I can send the package with her and it will save me postage. Jackson will probably be mad because he wants to come in the mail, but it will probably save me $10. Then I'm thinking, hey, Hillary, can I go with you? She'd probably let me. All right, I have both cuffs cut off. So, I mean, this isn't the cuffs. This is the excess. All right, luckily I didn't pay much for this. Now I have to measure. Here's my cuff. And see what I mean by I can't really just sew this back on. The sleeve is this fat. So I have to go in and make the sleeve a little more narrow. So I will do that. This one time I ordered a Teemu package and this was in there. I don't know what, it was in the package. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of a window thing with plastic over it. So I saved it just in case. It was laying there. I don't know where it came from. So you put the sleeve down and then you take your cuff and you measure right here and then you know how much to take it in. And then you pin your cuff and then I will just taper it up into the sleeve. I'll pin it and I'll show you then. Taper it up. All my sisters know how to do this. Well, Shauna, she's not much of a seamstress. But Carolyn and Lisa and me, we took to it. Okay, see this? I'm going to be sewing that up. And then the cuff will fit on there. Nicely. Get my paddle. The first sewing machine, I have it in fact, my mother's sewing machine that I learned to sew on. And it was a knee pedal, not a foot pedal. So you use your knee to make it go. And that was a different experience. It was not harder or easier. I've seen machines that you can adjust it and make it either a knee or a foot. Okay, tapered that in. And now I'm going to trim it and zigzag it so it will be more professional. Even though Jamie would never know what I did. As I think back on my life, high school, the only thing I learned in high school that served me in my adult life was my sewing classes and my balancing a checkbook. All that other stuff, I don't know if that helped me. Algebra, no. I guess you learned about the Congress and the Senate and all of that in that one class I learned. That was good. But most things in high school, PE, they were just wasting my time. Okay, now the cuff. I will pin it on like this, and then stitch around it, zigzag it, and it'll be done. One done. I bought him 2 of these. These shirts come in every which color you can imagine. I bought Chad more of them because he needed them. Somebody asked how Chad's doing. I don't know. Now that he works, he doesn't call me that much, and I don't see him that much. because by the time he gets home from work, I don't venture out. I stay home. And he has a couple he always has phone problems. Like, he broke his iPhone, and then he had an Android phone, and it didn't seem to work good. And he doesn't answer phone calls, so you text him. And so anyway, and Trevor's house is under contract, selling it. And he lives across the street from Chad. So I'm going to lose my connection. All right, before I sew it, I'm going to measure and make sure 19 inches is going to be the finished measurement. Because if it's wrong, then I would have to redo it. Now I lost my little tape measure. It's okay. I'll use this one. I used to have a sewing room. Well, I still do. Sewing room and everything in there. Yep, it's going to be perfect. And everything. And but I'd rather sew up here in my bedroom than enclosed in a room downstairs that I don't even, I don't know. I just hated it sewing down there. So I moved it all up here. And I don't know what Jamie's doing today. Yesterday, he loves stovetop stuffing. When we went to the grocery store, he bought some. And he put celery and onions. He makes it really good. I can't eat it right now. I'm too scared to. But anyway, he made 2 boxes of it. And it made a mountain of it. So that's what he's been eating lately. Yesterday, and I'm sure he's eating it today for his lunch. But like I said, I think I'm going to go make for dinner tonight a Salsbury steak. Now, see, Salsbury is my family name on my mother's side, Salsbury. And so when Tyson was born, we were going to name him after Jeff's side of the family, but I think Jeff didn't care. I think he knew he was going to divorce me, or it was going to end, and he didn't care. So instead of naming him Tyson Burnell after Jeff's dad, I named him Tyson Salsbury. So when he was like 2, he thought his name was Tyson Strawberry. And I would always have to say, it's Salsbury. I'm expecting my bobbin thread to run out in a minute. So anyway, then his name Tyson, they didn't have Tyson chicken chunks when I named him. They didn't have Tyson chicken. But when he was little, he goes, Mom, why did you name me after food? I said, what do you mean? Salisbury steak and Tyson chicken chunks. Okay, see, it's done. And I had to laugh because it never occurred to me at the time, the family name and then the chicken. So every time I think of Salisbury steak, then I think of his little tiny face saying, Tyson Strawberry. It was so, I just loved my little babies. I enjoyed them so much when they were little. They slept with me. We would talk. And I nursed Tyson till he was 2. Because I didn't have a husband. And he slept with me. And then when I got married, I had to wean him away. And my foster at the time, he said, he's too old to be nursing at almost 2. And I said, he's my baby. But anyway, I quit. And he was healthy, right? I nursed my girls that long too. The only one I didn't nurse that long was Trevor. I told Trevor one time, Trevor, I'm sorry I didn't breastfeed you very long, 5 months or something. And he was little, he goes, good. But now, you can't tell the difference, the ones you nursed a long time and the ones that were bottle fed. Okay, took the sleeve in, clip your seam here, and oh, I'm so glad I don't have to sew for people anymore like I used to. Every day, whether you were in the mood to or not, I had to sew for people. Get up. Sometimes I would do it the night before when I would drop the dry cleaning stuff off, the alterations, and then I would bring home the new load to do. And then I would sometimes sew it that night, so in the morning I didn't have to get up and start sewing. It was a good job for me. I made about $100 a week. So it was $400 extra to go along with my boy's dad got hurt in a car wreck. So he was on Social Security. So Social Security paid my child support, $800 a month. So I lived on that and then this sewing money. That's how much I lived on. But I had HUD housing at the time too. And so I made it frugally. And when they got to be 14, they always had a job. Of course, I didn't make them pay bills, but they would buy their own school clothes and their own whatever they wanted to spend their own money on. And I didn't have to give them spending money. I probably wouldn't have anyway because I didn't have it. But we got by until I married Jamie. My savior came in my life. That's not why I married him, though. When I married him, I didn't realize what a cow was worth. And I didn't realize, I didn't know how much land he had or anything like that. So wasn't a gold digger. I just knew that he was a spiritual, same religion as me, and we connected nicely. And he was I just prayed for a kind man after marrying Foster that was so unruly, abusive, drunk. I just prayed for a kind man. And I waited 8 years. No, 7. No, 6. I'll say 6 years because Hillary was 7. And I divorced Foster when Hillary was a year old. So now I'm zigzagging. Around the cuff. He's not going to like this shirt. But thank you to you guys because you saw, he tried it on in front of you guys. And everybody said he looked good in it. So that means he will wear it because you guys all said he looked good in the shirt. So thank you. Okay, this one's done. And it's a good thing I tried both shirts on him and measured because these are different. They're the same size, but this shirt turned out to be longer sleeves than that shirt. Okay, let's see. Is it 19? Perfect. All right. So now it's ready. He can wear it to the doctor. It looks so much nicer than those plaid button-up ones that he wears. He's stuck in the mud. He likes the same thing his whole life when I married him. Plaid button-up shirts. They're the same. Okay, now this next shirt I have to fix. I like this shirt on him because it's not a plaid. But look what happened. The button up right here. I think it happened because his belly is too big. Because I've had that happen to me. And so I just need to stitch it closed again. And I'm going to have to reinforce it, or he is going to just bust it out again. Because he hasn't lost weight eating all that stuffing. He loves it though. He wants to lose weight. So then, like I always used to be, okay, I want to lose weight. I'm not going to eat any bad stuff today. And I start out really good, and then by nighttime, here I am eating a piece of cake. You ruin the whole day then. So, all right. It has this flap over right here. I'm going to use it as my reinforcement and stitch it down. But I need to change thread to black. So, I got to restitch my machine. I restitch, rethread. That was one thing when I sewed for other people. I had to trade threads so often that I got really good at threading the machine quickly. And I have a ton of bobbins so that I would not have to, you know, do bobbin thread every time. Rewind. And I had so much thread in every color, you had to, because you didn't know what you were going to be sewing. But I got really burnt out from it. Having to do it all the time. I had Sundays off. I didn't have to sew on Sunday. That was good. I have to save this because that's the bobbin thread, the color of this other shirt. Don't want to use it up. Bobbins. So like here I have several that are in black. So what I do is when I wind my bobbin threads, I'll do a whole bunch of them at a time in black or white. If I'm making a quilt, I do a whole bunch of white or whatever color the quilt is. And then I can just, when I run out, I don't have to do the rewind. And so I can do it faster. But why I'm doing this is because these clothes have been sitting here, the mending, and I'm sick of looking at them. I want to get them fixed and put away because they've just been out here bugging me. I need to fix that. So that's why I'm doing it. Looks like I fixed this once before, the buttonhole ripped out. So we're going to have to do it better this time. Because I like this shirt. How come the favorite shirts are the ones that always get paint on them or wear out the fastest? I don't know. So we called the car place. They have to order the parts, you know, to the car. Well, that won't be done. It'll take a few days to get it. So they said we could go get our car. Can you hear when I'm talking? They said we could go get our car and drive it. But Connor's sleeping, you know, he works nights. We don't want to wake him up. And so we don't have a ride to go get the car. Everybody was at work or at school. And I told Jamie, just stand at the bottom of the hill, and then when a neighbor goes by, say, can I get a ride into town? They give you a ride, they're nice neighbors. But we don't want to do that, really. I don't want to stand down there waiting. And I'm too embarrassed to call them and ask. They would do it. The one lady down here is a real estate. She's the the real estate that's selling Trevor's house. But she's probably not there. And the teenagers would give me a ride. They're in school. All right, this one's done. And I think I'm going to stitch this all the way down because it needs to be ironed. You know, this part, this back flap on shirts that don't, if your shirt has cotton in it. I'm going to stitch it down. He'll be so happy because he hates this. This needs ironed. I'm not going to iron a shirt just for that. Well, when we were newlyweds, I might have. Or if he was going somewhere important and had to look spruced up. So, I will do it now. And this fabric won't even show the stitching because it's so black. It has black threads in it anyway. I think it's so sad they don't teach sewing in school anymore because everybody brings their sewing to me now. I don't want to do it. But I used to have to patch jeans. But now holy jeans are in style. I don't have to do that anymore. I'm so happy. Yay. If I was making money doing it, I would be sad because then I couldn't make money patching jeans. But mostly it was family members. When Levi and Hillary first got married, they were so poor, you know. He didn't have very good jobs. Plus, he was only 18. So, they would always have me mend his jeans to last as long as possible. This side's already sewn down. And so, I would always have to mend his jeans. Pretty soon, the patches were more patches than pants. But I did it because, you know, they were poor. So, nowadays, they don't have to have me do it anymore. If this was for someone else, I would go get a beige thread instead of white. But it's not going to show, and it's just Jamie, and he'll never notice that the inside has white thread. And the bobbin is beige. So that'll work. I had all my threads in this bottom drawer of this sewing desk here, sewing machine table. But what happened was I needed the drawer for something else. So I took all the threads out and put them in a crate in the closet. So now I'm too lazy to go get the crate down to get the right color thread. Because white will work fine. And I have a quilt, a baby quilt I'm making. And I want to do it. I want to finish it so I can get that thing gone behind my chair. It's in a big basket to do. So if I was ambitious, I would do that. But I don't know, I'm not ambitious, and I don't know who I'm giving it to because there's no baby on the way right now from grandkids. And I noticed they don't really use quilts like they used to, like we did with our babies, wrapped up in a quilt, in their bed and everything. Now they're so worried about SIDS and everything that they don't use that. So I don't even know if it's worth making one. And you can buy those fuzzy soft blankets that are so nice nowadays, and they're cheap. So why would you want a quilt? I don't know. To lay on the grass when you go on a picnic. My bobbin's coming out because I did it wrong. I was in too big a hurry. You do get out of the practice, too, when you don't sew all the time. And then you forget the little tricks, some of them. And then you remember, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do it that way. Okay. Now this one. Okay. We're going to test it to see if the cuff is wide on this one too. I'm sure it is. Yes, it is. I haven't cut this one off yet either. Now, let's see if the sleeve length on this one is going to be the same. It should be the same. But maybe, I don't think it is. The sleeves went in different. So, I think it's the same. So, I will copy it. Anyway, you don't need to watch me do this one. So, I will end this because it's been half an hour. And this will be have to be my show for tomorrow because no Teemu today. Well, maybe I got a Teemu, but I don't know about it because I didn't go to the mail. And I haven't looked at my email to see. But remember, I'm not ordering as much as I used to because I don't need anything. I can't find anything. And the Christmas isn't here. And so I try to find, I know one order I made was, I found the most unusual stuff. And so I ordered it just so we could see what it was like. And that order should be coming soon. I remember when I first started ordering, I ordered an order every day. That's terrible. I spent so much money doing that. You can't afford to shop every day. In reality, spend a whole bunch every day shopping. I'm spending $100 every day. I don't ever really make $100 order, but spending $100, who gets to do that? I don't. I'd be stupid if I did that because who needs that much junk, right? Too much consumer crap. So I refuse to do it, even though I get the most views. All right, I'm going to stop because I don't even know if you can hear me. My voice might be buffered behind the sewing machine. And I'm sure you've heard enough from me. All right, if you're still here, thanks for watching.